When I was 11 years old, I started swimming with my coach, who I swam with my whole career, named Bob Bowman, and he kind of sat down with me when I was 11 and said, I started swimming with him when I was 9, and then at 11 he sat down and was like, "You can make the Olympic team. That would be awesome. Why not?" He's like, "You could do it in 4 years," and I was like, "Okay, let's do it." So I stopped playing baseball, lacrosse, and soccer, focused on swimming because that's what I wanted to do. My sister at that point was first in the nation and third in the world in '94 for swimming, and she was 13 or 14 or whatever, and that was her goal. And I had already seen her go to national teams and travel all over the world and see all these cool meets and places and experience all this. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to be a world record holder. I want to be an Olympic gold medalist. I want to be a professional athlete. That's what I want.
I had races that still gave me the itch to come back. Not winning the 200 fly was frustrating, and starting off 2012 with not medaling in the 400 IM, that stuff just stuck with me, and I wanted to come back and make sure I never had a what if moment. I don't know why I opened up and talked about it, but I guess I was just sick and tired of just having it inside of me for 20 plus years, and I was ready to make a change. For me, for so long, I didn't have self-love, I had no self-confidence, and I didn't like who I saw in the mirror. So I just got kind of sick of it, and obviously I hit a very low point in my life where I didn't want to be alive anymore, and decided that I was going to make a change. We all go through things. We all go through struggles, right? There's probably everybody in this room that goes through struggles the same exact way, and I think that's what we all have to realize. Yes, I've been successful in what I've done, but it doesn't make me superhuman. It just makes, for me, I was very goal-oriented and very passionate about what I was doing and wanted to be the best. So, for me, I was able to do that, but I put my pants on just like everybody else does. So it's it's just something that every single person goes through, and for me, I was sick and tired of compartmentalizing things that I didn't want to talk about, and I just opened up, and honestly, since then, my life has become easier. The biggest thing is just being able to open up, and like I said, just understand that it's okay to not be okay. None of us are perfect in this world, none of us are. But just those little things that I've been able to learn, and just to talk to people, you feel better. For me, I know how important mental health is in my life, and I'm finally now able to realize that working out is something that makes me a better husband, a better friend, a better father, and it's just little things like that I've been able to learn through this whole process to make me better, make me stronger, and it is just being able to help people. That's all I want to do. I've been very fortunate to be surrounded by a group of amazing people who have helped me get to where I am today. Obviously my family is massive. My coach is a huge influence. I have so many father figures, and he is like a father figure. My coach is like a father figure. So for me, I've been very fortunate to have a lot of powerful people around me and to help mold me and help me learn more and more through my journey. So for me, it's honestly, I think the reason that it worked so well is because I was open to hearing what they said or hearing what they were trying to help me understand, and that's something I think that went a long way and really helped me become who I am today, where now I actually like who I am. For a while it was hard for me to have self-confidence and self-love, and now I'm able to look at myself in the mirror and love who I see. If I look back to 2000, my first Olympics, that was a process to help me get to where I ended up. The learning experiences that I had from 2000 Olympics helped me in '04. What happened in '04 helped me in '08. What happened in '08, I chose to not let help me in 2012. And in 16, I was able to kind of compile them all together to help me actually be happy and to love what I was doing. So it is a process to go through when you want to be successful at something. It's not, if you look at the city wasn't built in a day, right? So, it takes time to truly reach your goals and reach your potential. And through that process, you will have ups and you will definitely have downs. But I think that's, for me, when I had my downs, that's where I was able to have the support that I had. And for me, always wanting to get better, always wanting to get stronger, and That process, like I said, now I can look at myself in the mirror and be happy with who I see. I mean, honestly, like what I did wasn't rocket science. For me as a kid, I had dreams bigger than anybody else could ever dream, and I wanted to be the greatest. I wanted to be the best, and I think I always wanted to be the first Michael Phelps because I wanted to do things differently than everybody else. So for me, when I went through a span of 5 or 6 years where I didn't miss a single day of training, 365 days a year, that made me different. I got 52 extra days each year than anybody else had. And in the sport of swimming, if you miss one day, it takes you 2 days to get back to where you were. So everybody else is taking a step back on Sunday when they weren't swimming, and I was taking that one step forward. So for me, that's really all it was. I was willing, I think, to make sacrifices. And I think the greats, I love this. The greats do things when they don't always want to. And I think that's what separates good from great. I mean, the biggest thing I think that really separated me through my career was my mental game. Everything that was in between my ears. Like for me, it's just, I eventually got to the point where I was competing against myself because I was so hard on myself. And for me to improve, I had to get stronger mentally, and I had to find a way to do it. And I think my coach helped me get through that process and learn more. So for me, like when I would visualize, I visualize every single, getting up to a meet, I would visualize probably a month or so in advance, just of what could happen, what I want to happen, and what I don't want to happen. Because when it happened, I was prepared for it. So, when I go into 2008 and in the 200 fly, my goggles fill up with water the first 25 and I swim blind for 175 meters, I revert back to what I did in training and counted my strokes. And I know how many strokes I take the first, second, third, and fourth 50 of all of my best 200 flies. So I reverted back to that, and I was ready for that because I was mentally prepared for it. It's just something that I've always been prepared for. It was something my coach did from a very young age and continued to try to just improve that game step by step. I got beat in the 200 fly because I felt that I wanted to do the training my way and not listen to what my coach was saying. So that was a good learning experience for me earlier in my career, just to trust my coach more. Another one was the 200 fly in 2012 in London. I didn't watch that race for 2 or 3 years because it me off, to be honest. Because what I did cost me the race. Missing my third turn cost me the race. Not going to work out when I should have cost me that race. So it was my fault, and I got what I deserved. For me, when I did have a defeat, I'm obviously very quiet. I'm very upset. And I know that when I'm training, that's still in my head. That those replays still play in my head because I don't want that feeling again. I never want the feeling of defeat, and that's what kept me going and kept me going harder and harder every day. For me, I think the biggest thing was the sacrifices that I made in training. Go back to what I said. I did things differently than other people did in training. I worked harder than they did. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, "Do you feel bad about winning medals?" And I looked at him I was like, huh? It's like, no, not one bit. That's why I went to practice every day. That's why I worked as hard as I did every day, because I didn't want anybody to beat me. I wanted to stay on top of the mountain as long as I could, and if somebody wanted to knock me off, I was ready for a challenge. 5 Olympics is more probably than I ever thought I would be in. I think after 2012, not having a successful Olympics, in my opinion, I think kind of haunted me for a couple of years, and I was the only one that could, I guess, decide and truly commit to coming back again. And when I did, I knew I was going to do it the right way, and that was the only way to do it. I wasn't going to waste 2 or 3 years of my life to kind of half-ass it. So I wanted to truly come back and exit the sport on my terms. I think that was the biggest thing. And for me, I was the happiest I've ever been at Olympics this time around. Having my son and my wife in the stands and my family in the stands, just being able to, just finish my career, in my opinion, the perfect way.